Howdy, team. Happy Thursday. I hope y'all are having a great day and week already. It's been a pretty good week over here, too. We had a great night last night, midweek, and I'm excited about hanging out with y'all again on Sunday. I don't know if you've ever been in my office before or not. Some of you have, some of you have not. But this is one of my bookshelves. You can see it's a pretty good bookshelf there. I got my degrees up there on the wall and some of my certifications. And then I've got another couple of bookshelves over here. That particular shelf over there with the jawbone, those are all my really heavy-duty books. And then across the hallway, I've got another bookshelf, and it's also chock full. I love my office. It's a pretty great space. The one thing that I don't like about it is I don't have enough bookshelf space. I left about half of my library in Arizona because I knew I wasn't going to have room for it. I stopped counting. I think I had probably 1,500 books when it was all said and done. And of course, I've added to it since then. But it's good to share, right? So I left not all my books. I left about half my books with my buddy that took over for me in Arizona. And that's been good. He's been able to use those resources. I show you that stuff not to brag and not to show you how big a nerd I am. Yes, I've read a lot of stuff. I show you that simply to say what we're talking about today is wisdom. And one of the points that we're trying to help students understand overwhelmingly is that wisdom comes from God. It does not come from books, does not come from education. We garner wisdom from other people, but ultimately all of that wisdom still comes from God. It's not that we're anti-education, obviously, very into education. We support our kids. I've had quite a bit of education. It's just an understanding that everything that we understand about the planet, everything that we know about the universe, everything that we know about ourselves, and everything that we need in life to be successful all comes from the Lord. And we display our utter foolishness when we ignore that fact. And even more so when we intentionally just ignore when God has just laid out clearly for us something that's good for us and we ignore that, or when God has laid out clearly something that's bad for us and we ignore that. We just prove to be fools ourselves. I forgot to send you the video last week that goes to the lesson. I'll be sure and send you one this week. It's about a student that's texting and driving. Very relatable for our kids because that's where a lot of them are right now. They're training to be drivers, and so that'll be helpful. We destroy ourselves sometimes quickly and sometimes slowly when we ignore wisdom. But wisdom is found in the scriptures. And so we're looking at Proverbs chapter 2 this week. I'm excited about this fact. We helped set y'all up with this over the course of the summer. Our summer Bible study this summer was in the book of Proverbs. And a lot of y'all heard me say we were challenging students to read a proverb every day. And ideally, if they did it, they all read through the book of Proverbs at least once, if not twice, if they really did it every day, which was great. But when we would meet for Bible study, whatever day of the week that was, we did that particular proverb. So if we had Bible study on July 7th, we studied Proverbs chapter 7. Does that make sense? So we did actually look at Proverbs chapter 2 this summer, but we did that pretty early on. And even if the kids did read through it twice, they're not going to be disappointed in looking Proverbs chapter 2 again this morning. I bring it up to tell you, though, the process that we took, we didn't have a curriculum. Hey, y'all, sorry about that. I got a phone call, and that was several hours ago, and I've been running around crazy since then. But let me finish up. The process that we took this summer with Proverbs was we would have the students read the chapter out loud, and then I would just pose the question, okay, what's a passage from this chapter that jumped out at you? And then the follow-up question is, what do you think that means? Now, I didn't let just the student define what said verse means, because sometimes I got it right and sometimes I didn't. But the point was just to get them to think through what it is that they were reading. And so if you want to take that approach this Sunday morning, obviously I am more than okay with that. But I would look pretty closely at the questions they offer you, particularly under section 3 and under section 4. There's one question about that I just really, really appreciate, and it's, why do you think that even though we know something is wrong, we do it anyway? Because the chapter really focuses on rebellion. Why do we rebel even though we know it's foolish? I think that's a super solid question. I would certainly be curious to hear what our students respond with. But it should be a fun Sunday, guys. You can't ever go wrong with Proverbs. So have a great rest of your weekend. Know that I love you. I am headed to a tennis match, then a volleyball game, then a football game. Love y'all. Bye.